Hi guys. Whew, it's it's quite sunny out, a lot sunnier than I thought. But it's lovely. Time for another little Monday video message for you guys, and you'll be like, I don't have any coffee today. I've already finished my coffee. I'm a little bit late in taping this, but I have notes if that makes up for it. I wanted to talk a little bit about co-creation and collaboration today, because a large part of what we do as House of Hives has to do with bringing people together and um, co-creating books, but also collaborating on marketing for things, and by doing that, to you know to create something that is bigger than the sum of its parts, but also that has the ability to reach so many more people, because suddenly your message isn't just reaching your audience, but it's also reaching the audience of all the people that you're working with together. Um, and I think by sharing resources like that and sharing talents like that, um, we can do so much more with what we've got. And I wanted to so the notes. I was listening to a podcast, which I do quite often, but I was listening to I Weigh with Jamila Jamil, which is an amazing podcast, by the way, if you're into sort of those topics of body acceptance and feminism, let's change the world and be better humans, all round humans. That's a definitely recommend a listen to I Weigh. Uh, in this particular episode, this was released on the 10th of April of this year. She was talking to former US Surgeon General Vivek Murthy on the topic of loneliness. And one of the things that he says, and this is a little bit of a longer quote, so forgive me for not looking you in your beautiful eyes, but I do have to read this. I didn't memorize it. But he says we have a culture that is tilted away from interdependence to independence. And that tells us that to be truly successful, we have to be able to do things on our own, not depend on other people. You've got to be self sufficient. The reality is that we have evolved to be an interdependent species. Our biology responds to interdependence. Social connection makes us feel better, makes us feel safer, helps us perform better and produce more. Then, if we somehow force ourselves to do the opposite, that creates real conflict inside of us. And it just struck me as so true, because I think like we are so programmed that we have to be able to do this by ourselves. And if it's sometimes I even feel like when we talk about these collaborative programs that we run, and people go like, yeah, but it doesn't count because it's not, I haven't done the legwork, it's not my hustle and grind, and so then it doesn't count. But the simple fact of the matter is that you can't be as effective and as productive by yourself as you can as part of a group or a collective. um, and and that's how human beings function best. It's so hard to be creative when you're in a vacuum, when you're all by yourself. You need other people to bounce ideas off. I was very grateful that to have a quick call this morning with Kim Hamer, who is a brilliant marketing strategist, because I just got stuck in my thinking. And she just talking to her for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, just unstuck me. Got me past where my brain was like, I, I can't see past this bit. And it helps tremendously to have people like that who can just jump in and say, oh, let's have a chat about it. It also helps um, to have people look at what you're doing, what you're creating, and give you feedback on it. This is why working with an editor is so great, because you're writing all this stuff and you're creating all this stuff, and then to have someone look at it with an outside look and say, actually, if you put this bit here, it will have a greater impact. And if you're talking to someone to say, like, hey, this is a great story, this part of it is important for your marketing, but that part of it, that's maybe just your part, or that doesn't necessarily really contribute to what it is that you're trying to say, or that what it is that you're trying to communicate with your audiences. So it's in that feedback and in that sparring, in these sparring moments, that we create some real magic. And then to just put all of that together and be able to actually, you know, come together as a group of authors or speakers or whatever program it is that you're wanting to buy into, and even like coming together with the House of Hives team, you create something that you couldn't have created by yourself. You couldn't have created the reach and the impact because it required that group effort. And I think it's really interesting to consider that that's not just me saying that. That's actually your DNA saying that as well. Like, this is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be coming together in groups and creating together. You can't do it all by yourself, and you can't function in a vacuum. Even if you're, self-employed and you work from home, and I think actually, especially when that's your circumstance, and for a lot of self-employed people, and I mean especially in in lockdown, that's been the reality of our lives. We're working from our office, and it's just us. And I think that it's so important to start creating these teams, virtual teams or real life teams, whichever comes your way. But I think it's so important to not kind of get stuck in that isolated state, because you will get stuck, and it's hard to get yourself unstuck. You need other people to collaborate with and to co-create with. Life is so much easier and so much more fun when you do that. And yeah, I don't know. Now I'm just rambling, so I'll just stop. But this was my thoughts and my considerations for today. And maybe next time I should do this before or while I drink my coffee, so that I am less rambly. I don't know. But I hope to see you next week. Bye.